मदीय हृदयाकाशे चिदानन्दमयो गुरुः उदेतु सततं सम्यक् अज्ञानतिमिरावरुणः। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःशुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथाष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यास योगा. So last time we saw verse 23. It is on, I think, Sattvika action. So, an action which is prescribed and duly regulated, performed without attachment, without desire and hatred, and not motivated by results. That action is said to be Sattvika. This we saw last time in verse 18-23. Now we go to 24. यत्तु कर्मेप्सुना कर्म साहंकारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तत्राजसमुदाहृतम्। यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहंकारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम्. So, Rajasi action is what? It is said to be that which is full of pain, which is undertaken by one who seeks result and who is egoistic. See, in the previous verse, we saw Sattvika karma, which is karma yoga only. It is not different. Now, karma yoga means here, we must remember, that is, whatever be the result, it doesn't affect him. Now, Krishna defines Rajasam karma. Rajasam karma is a karma done with kriyate bahulayasam. It is a karma which involves tremendous stress and strain. The person is heavily stressed, heavily strained. So there is a lot of tension, and that tells him upon his life in different ways. Because he suppresses his tension, but externally pretends to be relaxed and a relieved person. So therefore, the problem is, it tells upon his, that is his body, slowly. So Rajasam karma is that which increases tension and which surfaces in the form of many diseases, because he suppresses. There is one more problem. It is, the person does not know to handle his tension and anxiety. So he expresses the same because he does not know how to handle. So he expresses it in front of other people. So he becomes highly irritable and short-tempered. There is still more worse problem. It is, he does not know how to cope up with the stress and strain. And therefore, he tries to release through various addictions like drinking, smoking, or he takes to varieties of habits. And after some time, he will find that all of them, they won't work. So he becomes a sort of a wreck. His family also becomes a wreck. Even it may break up family. When he cannot lead even a simple and peaceful life, where is the question of studying the scriptures? A tension-ridden mind will not have the inner relaxation, either to pray or even to spend some time with the family members. In fact, he will be sometimes, climbing his what you call corporate ladder. He might have become vice president, president, etc., earning a lot of money. He will have money, but no peace of mind. Even the family members do not have peace. This is typical of Rajasic karma. So Krishna uses the word Bahulayasam. Ayasaha means stress and strain, tension, anxiety. The very life becomes a hell. Similarly, family. Money is there, status is there, but no life, no family life. Therefore, no religion, absolutely no spirituality. Therefore, Bahulayasam kriyate, actions with tremendous strain. It is like that. Next word is Kamepsuna kriyate. It is done by a person who has got materialistic desires like power, name and fame, status, all these things. Therefore, Kamepsuna. What is the fundamental misconception of such people that all the status, name, fame, position will give peace of mind. This is the misconception which these Rajasic people have. They do not know that peace of mind has no connection to any of these things. That is status, name, fame, etc. Sometimes it may increase, rather it may affect the peace of mind. So, kamepsuna karma kriyate, action done by a person who is interested in these externals like status and name, fame, etc. Sahankarena, one who is highly egoistic. Why? He thinks his value increases because of the position that he occupies, and therefore he wants to stick to that position. He thinks that his glory is because of that particular status or position, and therefore he holds on to that. So, sahankarena, attached to these external symbols or status and position. And therefore, sahankarena, action done by an egoistic person who is interested in external and who is always in tension. Such karma is rajasam udakritam, is rajasic karma. It is just opposite of the sattvika karma. So next verse, of course, automatically talks about tamasic karma. Anubandham kshayam himsam anavekshat sa paurusham mohadarapyate karma yattattamah samuchyate. Anubandham kshayam himsam anavekshat sa paurusham mohadarapyate karma yattamasamuchyate. Yattamasamuchyate. So this tamasic action is said to be that which is undertaken due to delusion, moha, without considering the consequences, loss, harm, and his capacity. Sri Krishna defines tamasic karma, and he points out any thoughtless action, any action done without proper thinking, proper planning, is tamasa karma. Actually, many people get confused regarding planning for the future and worrying about the future. Planning is not worrying about the future, or that he is not planning. Actually, this is a big confusion. Planning is deliberate action, whereas worrying, it is a totally different thing. For example, after booking tickets for a journey, suppose one worries whether the train will run or whether it will come on time or not, and all these things. This is what we call now worrying about future. Sattvika karma involves planning, whereas tamasa karma, there is no planning. Simply you will say, I felt like doing, therefore I did. So Krishna says, Paurusham Anavekshya. Paurusham means the human capacity, personal resources, physical capacity, intellectual capacity, and also financial capacity. So many things are there. So a tamasic person or a tamasic karma, proper plans will be lacking. So anavekshya, without taking into consideration his capacity, and he won't analyze at all whether I will be able to do or not. Then the next thing mentioned is anubandham. This we have heard, even in books, you see anubandham, which comes at the end. Anubandham, an action done without considering the consequences. The consequences is anubandham. Before verbally expressing or physically expressing or before starting anything, I should know the consequences. Anubandham means consequences. Then Kshayam means loss. You can say even expenditure. Nothing can be attained free in this world. Whatever you have to accomplish in life, you have to proportionally spend. It may be even expenditure of our energy. So physical expenditure, financial expenditure, all types of loss, I should calculate. Therefore, kshayam, which means loss. So I have to see whether I can afford first, or is it worth spending so much for this particular job. So this action taken without considering any of these things comes under this tamasic karma. Then one more this thing is himsam. I should know whether any damage will be caused by my action on others or at that place and all these things. Many actions, even cooking sometimes, it may disturb neighbors if there so much of smell and the whatever comes out of kitchen, even that one has to consider. So himsam, whether any damage is caused by the action. So we have seen nearly 7 topics. Before going to the next topic, we will just quickly go through this. 7 topics have been taken up. Jnanam, karma, karta. These 3 first. Jnana means knowledge. Karma means action. Karta means doer. We will come to that. Then next is buddhi and dhritihi. Buddhi means intellect or intelligence. Dhriti means willpower. Then finally sukham. Sukham means happiness. So here we have totally 6 topics. Just now we saw jnanam, karma, karta, buddhi, dhriti, and finally sukham. We have to include the 3 types of sannyasa which we saw earlier. So that including that it becomes 7. So in all these 7, tamasa variety should be given up. If one is a spiritual seeker, he has to give up tamasa variety of all these 7 things we saw. Therefore, in and through all this discussion, we should remember that means remember means what? The moksha, that is the topic of this 18th chapter. It should be kept in mind. So if that moksha is our final goal, any pursuit which brings me down spiritually, I have to give up. Even though it may be materially beneficial. Therefore, all the tamasic type should be given up at the earliest. In fact, a question may arise. Is it possible to give up these tamasic actions if at all we have? That's why, see, the self-knowledge and spiritual pursuit, it will really help to attain this. That is, dropping the tamasic actions. In the last 2 verses of chapter 3, it is explained. That means Arjuna asks, once in a while I do some undesired actions. He uses the word bhava. So bhava, karta, or the actions. In chapter 3, Krishna will reply, if you understand which is the ultimate thing, compared to what you see, and which is as mind, and above that intellect, and above that everything, above all these things is the self. So this knowledge, if one understands clearly the effect of and that place he says rajasic guna, it will slowly drop. So spiritual practice keeps one in sattvic state most of the time. That's why, see, when you go to ashram or any of these places, or when you're in a satsang, all the time the sattvic state remains. When it is continued, especially after taking diksha, and if you use the mantra properly, all the time one will be able to be in sattvic state, at least most of the time. So that's how it helps, dropping all the tamasic actions. It will get dropped if there is no effort involved. Earlier, so much of attraction will be there, so many things. All those things slowly drops. But as far as rajasic variety is concerned, one has to slowly transcend the rajasic varieties also. Of course, we are not in a hurry to give up the rajasic variety. And it cannot be given up immediately. And really, it need not be given up immediately. Because rajasic variety will not pull me down spiritually. the Rajasic Jnanam, Rajasic Karma, even Rajasic Sukham, all of them will not pull me down spiritually. This we have to understand. The problem with Rajasic variety is it will keep me in spiritual stagnation. The growth will be slow. Progress will be slow. So it will not pull me down, but it will slow down the spiritual progress. Therefore, tamasic variety we must give up at the earliest. Rajasic variety we must slowly transcend, gradually. Sattvic variety is the one we should attempt to develop. Because Sattvic Jnanam, Sattvic Karma, Sattvic Dhriti, Sattvic Sukham, Sattvic variety is the stepping stone which will take us to ultimate moksha. In fact, that is the goal. See, right, Sattvic, everything, right from food, actions, and thoughts. Whatever we do, we call it, spiritual practice. That's why, all the time. So, we discuss 3 types of jnanam, 3 types of karma. These 2 topics we have completed. Earlier, from verse 20 to 22, 3 types of jnanam was discussed. 23 to 25, we had 3 types of karma. Now, we have to see 3 types of karta. So, which starts from verse 26. Yeah. Mukta sango naham vati dhrutyusahamanvikah siddhya siddhyor nirvikarah karta sattvika uchyate. Mukta sango naham vadi dhrutyutsahamanvikah siddhya siddhyor nirvikarah karta sattvika uchyate. So, a sattvika doer is said to be one who is free from attachment, who is free from egoism, who is endowed with will, which is inner strength and enthusiasm, and who is unaffected by success and failure. So this is the direct meaning of the verse. See, now we have seen, if we know Sattvic Karma, we will know Sattvic Karta. So who is Sattvic Karta? The one who performs Sattvic Karma is Sattvic Karta. It is simple as that. So who is Sattvic Karta as per this? Mukta Sangaha, the one who uses karma as temporary means to transcend the karma. That means the one who uses karma or action only as a temporary means for what? To transcend it later. Because karma is really useful up to attainment of what? Chitta Suddhi, purification of the mind. For that it is useful. That is, that karma is useful up to attainment of mental purity. After the attainment of mental purity, actually karma becomes an obstacle. Because karma or activity makes us extrovert. And I will not have the type of mind to look within. For what? To study our real nature and to take up any spiritual practice. So the first problem with karma is it makes a person extrovert. And because of that, restless. And such person cannot quietly sit and study shastras. Shastric study requires a non-extrovert and quiet mind. Therefore, karma is an obstacle to Vedantic study. That means after a certain level. That means after mind purification. That's what we saw. And the second reason is karma will invoke my karta nature. The more I am involved in karma, the more the kartatvam, that is, I am doer, that notion, that becomes reinforced. Whereas the ultimate truth is what? I am akarta. Since karma invokes karta, therefore it becomes an obstacle to understand that I am akarta, which is the truth. So mukta sangaha, the one who is not attached to any, say for example, profession, one who is not attached to even service activities, because he knows their limitation. Such an enlightened person is a karma yogi. He is a sattvika karta. Mukta sangaha, free from this sangha attachment. So next definition of sattvika karta is anahamvadi, the one who does not allow his karma, especially his successful karma, to get into his mind or head. Therefore, karma yogi never claims success. Karma yogi avoids mamakara, that is anahamvadi. So, if you see, sattvika karta is a karma yogi. At the same time, dhriti utsaha samanvitaha, that is the next word. Whether people recognize or acknowledge, whether people reciprocate or not, whether people have gratitude or not, the sattvika person is enthusiastic in his action. Dhriti utsaha samanvitaha. Dhriti means who has perseverance. One whose enthusiasm is not dampened by failure. If his attempt in any field, suppose it fails, he will not withdraw. He will again do. Dhriti means willpower, perseverance. They give an example of rubber ball. A wet, let's say we make a ball with wet clay. If you put it down, the wet clay ball will just remain there. in the ground. It cannot come up. It will be always flat on the ground. Whereas the rubber ball it comes up again. Similarly, a person who withdraws, that means once there is failure, he is lacking driti. If seeing a failure, suppose he is withdrawing from the action, it's a sort of driti is not there. Dritiman is one who repeatedly attempts in spite of failures. Driti samvitaha, perseverance. Utsaha samanvitaha. Utsaha is enthusiasm. We use in Tamil also that word is utsaha, or cheerfulness. That is, he'll be always pessimistic. Not optimistic. You see, who is not pessimistic? Okay. That means who is not negative in his approach. The one who is not critical, he is always positive and optimistic. That cheerful tendency is called utsaha. A sattvic karta has only positive views. What to talk about? So, dhriti utsaha samvitaha. Seeing positive thing in everything. Positive side in everything. Next. This also we have seen in second chapter. Siddhi siddhyo nirvikaraha. The one who enjoys a balanced mind. Whatever be the result or consequence of his undertaking, Sattvika Karta is one who has trained his mind to maintain the balance, whatever be the consequence or result. So therefore, Nirvikaraha, who maintains that poise, balance. The one who is not seriously affected by, or the one who is not overwhelmed by, whether on a positive result, or the one who is not depressed by negative results. I think 5th chapter, 20th verse, I think. Whatever be the result, he will not, if it is a favorable result, he will not get elated. If it is a failure, he doesn't get depressed. So it is there in many places in Gita. In fact, that is the basic, Karma Yoga. So Sattvika Karta is one who has Nirvikara, that means balanced mind. Discrimination is his wealth. And that power will not be clouded. He may have emotions, but do not allow it to overpower his discrimination. That is called Nirvikaratvam, balanced mind. Such a Nirvikara Sattvika Karta Uchyate. So, this Sattvika Karta is actually another name for Karma Yogi. Completely with positive outlook and action. Next is 27. Ragi karma pala prepsuho lubdho himsatmatko shuchihi harshashokan vitatkarta rajasa parikirtitah. Ragi karma pala prepsuho Luptho himsatmako shuchike arshashokan vidakarta rajasa parikirtitah. Rajasic doer is said to be one who has attachment, who is desirous of. No, see, who always expects positive results or actions, who is greedy, harmful, impure, and subject to elation or depression. Sattvika Karta has an important attitude which Rajasa Karta does not have. According to Sattvika Karta, success or failure in life are both capable of teaching him valuable lessons. Therefore, we need not try to avoid failures in life because of two reasons. Failures cannot be avoided in is one important thing. It is not totally in our hand. The second important thing is failures need not be avoided because failures are also useful for learning and growing. And therefore, if I use failures for learning and growing, that inward growth is we can call spiritual success. If I cannot convert failures for learning and growing inwardly, that means if I am successful in that, I have attained spiritual success. That means if I can convert failures for learning and inward growth. According to Vedanta, the real success in life using external success and failures for inner growth, this is a real success in life. What it says, we must be able to use external success and failures for inner growth. Actually, we have to meditate on this point. Because in second chapter, 48 verse, Yogastak kuru karmani sangam tekva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyor samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So the yoga itself means whether it is success or failure, so that balanced mind should be samatvam. That samatvam is yoga. So yogastat kuru karmani, with that yoga, do all actions. That is karma yoga. So yogastat kuru karmani sangam takva, without sangha. Dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. So whether it is failure or success, it shouldn't, don't get elated because of success and don't get depressed because of failure. This is a thing which is talked about in actually many chapters. And 5th chapter, 20th verse also. Na praharshyet priyam prapya. It starts like that. So there also, I forgot the full verse. Whether it is success, don't get elated. If it is failure, don't get depressed. In fact, that is the principle. So successful action will have in mental purity. And failure also will give mental purity according to this. Karma Yogi is interested in inner growth. Whether the karma is successful or a failure. Therefore, Karma Yogi is always successful, whether it is failure or success. So a non-Karma Yogi, he will call, a Karmi, one who does not know how to learn and grow inwardly. Therefore, he is attached to material success in life. And once we are attached to external success, we have always have problems because external success are not definite. Whether you will succeed or not, it's not definite. If you get success, we are on the top of the world. And if you do not get, we are shattered. Therefore, stress and strain are unavoidable for a karmi. And such karmi, who is always in stress and strain, Krishna calls him Rajasa Karta. So let's see the sloka now. Ragi. See, Ragi means what? It came up from the word Raga. Raga. So, the one who is attached to material success, interested in external success, that means full of attachment. We say, Raga Dosha, likes and dislikes. So, the desireful man is called Ragi. And the Karmapalas, Prepsuhu, the one who values the external possessions more than the internal growth. Because he does not know the fundamental principle, the peace, happiness and security do not depend upon what I have. They depend upon what I am. So yeah, we have seen that, that 5 capsules, spiritual capsules. According to that, I am the only source of peace, happiness and security. Many times we have discussed. It is not outside. Therefore, the difference, the karmi, he does not know. He thinks the externals will determine his peace of mind. Therefore, karma phala prepsuhu, the one who is after name, fame, possession, position, status, and all these things. Then next word is lubdha, extremely greedy. The one who has got tremendous mamakara. That means a greedy miserly person. Lubdha is the mixture of these two. Such a person is called Lubdha because of his misconception that possession, all these possessions will give security. Next word is Himsatmakaha. Once greed comes, he will be a threat to the society. He will start violating dharma. So harsha shoka anvitaha, affected by joy and sadness. So these people, karta, rajasa parikirtitaha, he is rajasic person. Time regard 20 more. I think quickly we will see 28 also, so that we will complete all the 3. 28. Ayukta prakrita stabdaha shado naikrudiko lasaha vishadi dirgha sutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. Ayukta prakrita stabdaha shado naikrudiko lasaha vishadi dirgha sutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. Shadho. Anjaga. Okay. So tamasic doer is said to be one who is undisciplined, uncultured, arrogant, deceptive, harmful, depressed, and procrastinating. Dirgha Sutri. So all these things we'll just quickly go through. Tamasakarta is defined in this verse. So many words. Ayuktaha, the one who does not have an integrated personality. The yukta is also used in many places. Yukta means a person whose personality, whose various layers of personality work in harmony. The tamasic person has never attempted to integrate the personality, because integration of personality requires a lot of effort. In 17th chapter, Anuvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Hitam Priyam, I will take into account before a word comes, Vakyam, that is, comes out of my mouth. Practicing this simple discipline is yoga. That is, thereafter, at the sensory level, at the body level, and when there is convergence, that discipline is called yoga. And the one who has practiced this successfully is called yuktaha, yuktatma. That word that means in every aspect, right, in the mind, action, everything there is a harmony. Keep something in the mind and talk differently. That sort of thing will not be there. So that's why he is called yuktaha. Whereas this Tamasakarta is called ayuktaha. It will not be there. Because, number one, he is lazy. And if he is lazy, it requires some sort of effort to become a yukta. You must remember everything before talking, before doing. So, it is... one has to think a lot before taking up any action. So effort is required. To talk in an uncontrolled way, whatever comes to the mind, that is comparatively easy. If some things are out of control, we have to stop it. We will take up this particular issue tomorrow. Like that, one should think. If I can do that, it indicates sense control. It requires that is sattvika guna. A tamasic person can never imagine such things because he is the ayukta. So therefore, he is a prakrita. Prakrita means uncultured person, because he does not filter his words. We should know what is proper and what is improper. If I do not have that control, I am called Prakrita Purusha. So, first we have to convert ourselves from Prakrita Purusha to Samskrita Purusha, a self-restrained human being. That is the first growth. In fact, the entire religious exercise is for conversion from Prakrita Purusha to Samskrita Purusha. Therefore, the integration of personality like this, is very important. And this integration does not take place automatically. Physical growth is automatic, conflict. Especially if you survive and eat well, that is simple, spiritual growth. That's why tamasic person is prakrita, uncultured. And next is stabda, means the one who is absolutely impolite. That is, then shataha. Shata means one who has got two motives in all activities. One is expressed motive and the other is hidden motive. Parallelly, two motives. Always expressed motive is one, and behind an expressed motive, there is hidden motive also. We call him split personality. Hypocritical personality. So we call it Shataha. It's a great disadvantage for spiritual growth because it weakens the individual. Then Naishkritaha. Naishkritikaha means one who is harmful, one who is hindrance to others, where in pursuit of their goals. This person does not have any goal, the person does not have any direction. Therefore, all the time he is available for gossips, rumors, and all these things. It's a waste of time. He also wastes others' time. So this one who is hindrance to others' pursuit, one who obstructs others' pursuit, is Naishkritikaha. And Alasaha, I have already we talked about that, the lazy person. The enemy to any spiritual growth is laziness. Then Vishadi. Vishadaha means gloom, depression, all these things. In fact, what Arjuna had we saw in first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishadi means embodiment of gloom. Dirgha Sutri, postponing, procrastination. It's an addiction actually of Tamoguna. And whoever has got these things, what we saw, Karta Tamasa Uchyate, he is called Tamasic Karta. Now, with these three, the three types of Karta we have completed. So, we will start from the next verse. Not next, I think from 30th verse only it will start. So, what are the other remaining topics of the 7 items? So, we will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.